Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming to Government House this afternoon as I announce the following changes to Cabinet. Let me get right to it. I have invited Cole Simons to be the Minister of the Environment. Cole is one of our most seasoned MPs who has been serving, as most of you know, as the Government House Leader and Whip for a number of years. Cole has always had a very strong interest in the environment, and I want him to be able to focus that passion on the job of protecting and maintaining our environment. Cole's responsibilities as a minister will also include responsibilities for planning and parks. I think we all agree the environment is critical to Bermuda's success on virtually every level. The island needs to sparkle, and that objective is central to the mandate that I have given Cole. We're blessed to live in such a wonderful and beautiful place. It is part of who we are, and this government will do its best to protect that environment. I have invited Jeff Barron to serve as the Minister of National Security. Jeff has been the Junior Minister of National Security for more than 3 years, and in that capacity, he has worked closely with me. I have watched him progress. He is well qualified, having served in the Bermuda Police Service, with the United Nations as a peacekeeper, in private business as a security consultant, and in the Senate as the government spokesman for national security. Jeff is the next generation of leaders we have on our team, and he will bring his energy and commitment every day to building a safe, prosperous, and secure future for the island. The work in the Ministry of National Security is not finished. We still have significant challenges that we must face in tackling and reducing crime. And during my tenure as Minister of National Security, I believe that we have had some significant accomplishments. We have worked hard to ensure that our community was safeguarded and secure, and I believe that Minister Barron will carry on that great work. I move on from the ministry thankful for the great work that's been supported with me all the time. And I want to take this opportunity to thank P.S. Telemac for a tremendous job. I was always comforted by an email that I sent out at 11:30 at night, and it seemed like he replied at 11:29, like he knew what I was thinking about. So thank you, P.S. Telemac, to the team there who have made my job much easier. So I move on with some regret. But in the Cabinet Office, there are significant responsibilities that I must dedicate my focus to in advancing the very important work in certain areas such as public sector reform and the critical priorities facing us as we try to move Bermuda forward. And of course, I intend to work closely with all ministers to ensure that we work assiduously for a better Bermuda. I certainly will continue to work closely with Senator Barron, Minister Barron. Next, Minister Pat Gordon-Pamplin will serve as the Minister of Home Affairs. Pat is a very experienced minister in government. She's also experienced in business and is well respected across the entire community. She has a compassionate heart, a fighting spirit, and an ability to understand all sides of a question. Pat is an excellent communicator and has proven her abilities in good times and managing difficult challenges. I've asked Minister Pat to take on Home Affairs and to continue with the reforms that will help us build a more fair and sustainable future here in Bermuda. Minister Michael Fay will serve as the Minister of Tourism, Transportation, and Municipalities. Minister Fay is one of government's most capable ministers. He has a huge capacity for work and an ability to get things done. In more than 3 years at Home Affairs, he has streamlined planning procedures, made significant progress on the road to immigration reform, and has overseen changes that have strengthened the Corporation of St. George's to meet the needs of the Old Town. All of these accomplishments have helped us move Bermuda forward to the economic recovery that we all want. Minister Fay will continue his oversight of the municipalities. At Transport, he will move forward on our throne speech commitments, such as banning tinted visors and bringing forward sobriety testing on our roads. As Tourism, he will continue the government's multifaceted work to rebuild the industry. I have invited Junior Minister Sylvan Richards to serve as the Minister of Social Development and Sport. It is my pleasure to welcome Sylvan back to Cabinet. He has built a successful career in international business, and he brings a strong, clear voice to the table. Sylvan has a deep commitment to the community and to social progress for all of Bermudians, and this appointment, I believe, is a natural fit. The ministry name change is to reflect more clearly the work that is being done under the current banner of Community and Cultural Affairs. Today, I'm also extremely delighted to welcome Kenny Bascom as Junior Minister of Tourism. Kenny is a pillar in St. George's. He cares deeply about our community and has been passionate about tourism all of his life. Over the next few years, the Old Town is going to see a lot of big positive change: a new hotel, cruise ships, and a marina, to name 3 things. Junior Minister Bascom will work closely on behalf of the East End and the entire Bermuda in general in supporting our tourism growth. It's a pleasure to have you as Junior Minister. And finally, I'm pleased to announce that Junior Minister Nandy Outerbridge will serve as the Junior Minister for Social Development and Sport. I'm sure you all know that Nandy is our youngest MP, and I have watched her grow in confidence and knowledge over the past years. She has proven her abilities to meet the needs of her constituents and to speak for the needs of young Bermudians and Bermudians in general. Nandy has impressed me with her organizational abilities and her teamwork. And in that regard, I'm also announcing today that I am appointing Nandy as the Government House Leader and the Party Whip, taking over from soon-to-be Minister Cole Simons, with whom she has worked closely with over the past couple of years. So, ladies and gentlemen, these appointments represent the changes to the Cabinet. All other ministers will remain the same. As a team, we will continue moving Bermuda forward and doing so with a sense of urgency. We have made significant progress. We've ended years of decline, putting the island back on solid ground and growing in ways that will benefit Bermudians of all walks of life. International agencies have validated our progress, but we also know that there are many Bermudians who continue to struggle. The work, in other words, is not yet finished. Everyone on this Cabinet team understands that we will continue to push to make Bermuda work for all Bermudians, to make it more fair, to make it more open, more inclusive, and with a strong economy that supports their dreams and aspirations. Young and old, black and white, blue collar, white collar, all of us are together in this partnership. So that concludes my remarks. I'm delighted to welcome new members to the team, and I want to thank them for their commitment to serve. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our entire parliamentary team for their support and the hard work that they do for the people of Bermuda. So, Your Excellency, I'm glad you have to fill out the paperwork. So let's fill out the paperwork, and then we'll be happy to answer some questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier. I was relieved. I was worried for a moment when I heard that somebody else was being appointed the Government House Leader. But I was reassured once I worked it out. Mr. Simons, can I invite you to come forward and make the oath of allegiance and the declaration?
Thank you, sir. I, Nelson Hadley Cole Simons, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs, successors, according to law, so help me God. I, Nelson Hadley Cole, being appointed a minister, do swear that I will, to my best judgment, at all times when required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor and any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office, for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. I do further swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not accept, with the authority of the Cabinet and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or contents of my documents communicated to me as a minister or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be true and a faithful minister. So help me God.
I invite you to take a right hand seat. Done. Senator Barron, please.
Your Excellency, thank you. Chairman, thank you. I, Jeffrey Kane Barron, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Jeffrey Kane Barron, being appointed a minister, do swear that I will do to the best of my judgment, at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office, for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further swear that I will not on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not, except with the authority of the Cabinet and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as a minister or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and in that all things I will be a true and faithful minister. So help me God.
Congratulations, Minister.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Mr. Richards.
I should do this one first. Yeah. That's what I was looking at. I got it. I, Sylvan DeVoe Richards Jr., do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. I, Sylvan DeVoe Richards Jr., being appointed minister, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will do to the best of my judgment at all times, when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not, except with the authority of the Cabinet, and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as minister, or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be a true and faithful minister.
invite you to take the oath. Let's hear it.
First of all, let me say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Kenneth Leon Bascom, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs, her successors, according to the law, so help me God.
Declaration.
I, Kenneth Leon Bascom, being appointed as a junior minister, do swear that I will do, to the best of my judgment at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda, and I do further swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not accept with the authority of the Cabinet to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly, reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or content of any document communicated to me as a junior minister or at any time coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be a true and faithful junior minister, so help me God.
I apologise if some of that is almost literally like watching ink dry, but it is important. Mr. Premier, may I now hand over proceedings to you.
Members of the media, any questions?
Premier, first of all, what is it that led to
Yes,
the
Gary.
changes that you made to the Cabinet and in your appointments?
Well, I think people will recall that former Minister Crockwell resigned, so I took some time to reflect on the opportunity to provide the strongest team moving forward, and I think we've come up with a very strong team to continue to move forward. So my goal was to always do it by the time we went back to the House of Assembly, so mission accomplished.
2 days ago, you stated that you were quite capable and desirous of continuing to hold the Ministry of National Security portfolio. Sorry. What is it that led to that change of heart?
Well, I guess I would reflect on that in two ways. First way is that I wasn't going to let the cat out of the bag until I had to open that bag at that time. And I'm still very capable and have enough energy to continue on with national security, but there are two things that just kept weighing on my mind. Is one, a very capable junior minister who's worked hard for 3 years, and I have full confidence in Senator Barron, Minister Barron. And two, I need to spend more time and energy on the core functions of the Cabinet Office and important things we have to do there, and work with our ministers, every single minister, to move Bermuda forward. Because in my comments, Gary, I said that we had made progress, but still there are too many of our brothers and sisters that struggle, and none of us are happy about that. So my intention with a very capable Minister of National Security is to be able to help in other areas and to drive that change forward in a more significant fashion. So I leave national security with much regret, but comforted about the position we're in, and excited about the opportunity to continue to focus on the work of rebuilding Bermuda.
It looks like the cabinet is slightly larger than what it was before, yet we've had a lot of promises over the years about reducing the size of the cabinet. Why haven't you been doing that?
I'm not sure that there are specific promises about reducing the size of cabinet. I think every premier should use that flexibility to appoint the people that can best serve with them and for the people of Bermuda. Our commitment has always been twofold: to get this economy moving again, to help Bermudians, and to make sure that we stop the bleeding in government finances. And I think we've made some progress. In the latter part, former Premier Canada has started a great initiative in that, and we've carried it on here. I feel very comfortable with the size of cabinet, because if you look at the size of this cabinet, there have been other cabinets the same size or larger. But the fact of the matter is, we've always been very conscious to curbing our costs. And so now, I think we've got a strong team, and we'll continue to move in that direction. The last thing I will say that Io is that as Premier, I believe that I have the smallest staff paid out of extra funds than any Premier has ever had. Because I've used very capable people within the civil service to perform the functions that any Premier needs to support. So every decision I make is about trying to move this island forward, but cognizant that we're borrowing money within government to do those type of things.
There are people who might be surprised in Minister Fay in the cabinet, given his tenure as a Home Affairs Minister, which some people would argue has created a lot of anxiety in the community. What would you say to that, to those people that we
I can't please everyone all the time, but I'm very comfortable with Minister Fay in tourism, transport, and municipalities. He has an incredible appetite for work. He's a very knowledgeable person, very industrious person, and I think every member of our team knows that he is well suited to continue on in cabinet. So I look forward to working with my entire team, because I'm going to be a much more aggressive taskmaster now, because we still have a lot of work to be done. So